Hello everybody, it's Ken Faulkner. I got another night video for you on the 4th of July, Independence Day, big holiday here in the United States, and yeah, celebrating kind of the birth of the country. And so I got some American-made knives here. So I do like to collect them. They tend to be a little bit more expensive, and I mean I think we all kind of know that and see that. Not really here to talk about that so much. What I want to talk about, other than showing these cool knives, is the innovation of the modern pocket knife. A lot of stuff has come out of U.S. manufacturers. Obviously, knives are something that have been around for centuries, and in different forms and whatnot. But it seems like in the last, I don't know, 20, 30 years, it's been a big um, uh, growth, or just like it's become something different than it used to. Like pocket knives used to be, slip joints and things like that. And then you got into certain mechanisms that came later on. I was just kind of poking around. I mean, I don't have a lot of facts and details, but I was poking around on the internet. You know, a little AI dive, if you will. Some of the things they talk about, Benchmade. I know people like to talk about Benchmade being expensive, but they did come up with the Axis lock. So that was a significant, is it what it says, is widely considered a significant pocket knife innovation in the U.S., allowing one-handed opening and closing. I mean, obviously, it's not the first time. We had um, other things are assisted. Kershaw came up with assisted, apparently, and Spyderco. Spyderco kind of came up with the whole idea. That's what I'm reading here. Um, then there's also like some of the basics that we know of, like the liner lock. Um, there was a guy who was a um, American designer, Michael Walker, in the 1980s. Really, that's not that long ago. I mean, at least for me, I remember the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. So it may seem like, somebody, younger, it may seem like a million years ago. But though the liner lock, I guess, was Michael Walker's design, and he was an American knife maker. Then we got the frame lock. Frame lock was Chris Reeves. I happen to have one of his knives here, the Inkosi, and he's got a frame lock on it. There it is. So some of these innovations, and as knife making goes, one person comes up with something. The Axis lock was like a proprietary thing for a while. I don't have any Axis lock knives here, right? I do have the Ram lock, which is like a different version. Oh yeah, here we go. I got something that's a crossbar lock. Benchmade had it exclusive for the longest time, and then their patent ran out, and then everybody started making it. And that's the thing with innovations is, you may have some kind of illegal protections regarding it, but eventually it gets out there and everybody starts to make it. This one's from Three Rivers Manufacturing. It's the Shadow. Awesome knife. I mean, there's been many different versions of the Axis lock, and you can see how fidgety it is, and it makes it an innovation that people are going to imitate as soon as they get the chance to be able to do it. Um, so these things are invented by people who are breaking ground for people in the future. They talk about people standing on the shoulders of giants and stuff like that. And some of these knives here are really kind of groundbreaking, and as to them coming out and doing so many things with knives, and a lot of people imitating it because they're so incredibly good in one way or another. Uh, got the Harsey Folder Spartan, great USA made knife company. Proud to be. I mean, most of these companies are that way. They're proud to be a USA made knife company, and there is so much. If you look back not just in knives, but like automotive, so many other inventions that were, the light bulb, things like that. There's so many things that were uh, invented in the United States. It just there's something about this country that has created a lot of industrialization, led to all this kind of inventiveness, people coming up with ideas, capitalism, because of the fact that if you come up with an idea that nobody else has and people find out about it and are willing to spend money on it, you can really go somewhere, with your company. So anyway, it's kind of thought I had, just looking back, what does it mean 4th of July and the birth of the country? I mean, we've become so global nowadays because of the fact that there's trade across the world, there's internet across the world. We're connected, and it's a much smaller world, and there's a lot of good things about that as well. But still, you got to give credit where credit's due. I guess you don't have to, but I feel like you should, and I do. So I picked a few American-made knife companies to show here, and it's just really, I thought it would be hard to narrow it down, but really it was hard. I mean, hard to pick some to represent, but it was hard really narrowing it down because there's a lot of great companies out there. There's Buck is a great company, and some of the stuff that they were doing. I wonder about the back lock. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. Because like a backlock knife, that was something that really made a folding knife that much more better. It looks like Buck Knife is credited as popularizing the modern mass-produced backlock. Buck 110 is mentioned here. It said back in 1963, so that was a while ago. Slightly before my time, not very far, but slightly before my birth. But yeah, I mean, so these companies have really made great designs, and yes, the rest of the world has come along and found ways to make them less expensive, and because of that, make it more available. I mean, it's really the whole argument of American-made knives versus other knives has to do with the fact that other countries can sell it in our country, and they have, by whatever means, and we can argue about that and talk about that for a long time, but they can make it cheaper in other countries than we can here. That's the reason why we have so many. But I really feel a lot of times that they are on the shoulders of American ingenuity and designers and machinists and just kind of the backbone of the country. I don't know, getting awfully patriotic here. I feel like a lot of people can understand what I'm saying. So Microtech, I mean, I'm in California. Unfortunately, we don't really have the availability for the automatic knife so much, but they do have some really great knives. And they took the axis lock and kind of got innovative with it on this ram lock. I took this one apart recently, and where you usually have those Omega springs, this has an actual coil spring in there. You can see it, and I think that's an advantage really in a knife. It made it easier to take apart and put it back together. I did have a hard time with this disassembly and reassembly for other reasons. This one turned out really great. I just wanted to kind of update on that because it's really it feels so great. It really made a big difference in this knife. Taking that FRN and changing it to the aluminum by Original Goat. And yeah, it is just really nice knife. So I really like the ram locks. I don't have tons of Microtechs, but a lot of them are coming with that ram lock, like the Amphibian here. Same kind of thing. So you get that real fidgety sort of thing. And that spring mechanism that they're using does help with the kind of the detenty kind of, it's not real detent, but it does give you some detent-like action, and it's really good. And it's some really cool knives to stitch here with that lock. So I'm really enjoying those. not the cheapest knives. I have like when you get to some of the other companies, the lower cost companies, I have like large collections, even like Spyderco. But the thing is, with Spyderco, they're kind of like a mix. They have a lot of U.S. made knives, but they also have other ones from Taiwan and China and Italy, all over the world. They're very much. I mean, even though they are based here in Colorado, so I mean, I see them as a United States company. They do manufacturing all over the world, so they're kind of like doing that outsourcing thing. Most of these, all these kind of here. I mean, Microtech did have that one or two knives that they did with Reich, but they've kind of backed off of that. They decided that wasn't the way they wanted to go as a company, and all these other companies here are just making just in the United States for the most part. And there's always those little things like you worry about the hardware and whatnot, and I think there's different levels at different companies. Chris Reeve, just really good quality stuff. Once you own or carry one of these for a while, you kind of get a feel of the difference. You know, Chinese made knives and knives made in different parts of the world are really, really good. But yeah, the USA made knives for me, especially when you get up into that price tag, because nowadays, in reality, a lot of the higher end Chinese companies are really selling knives in that same category of price. So yeah, I showed the Harsey before, and they really have done some cool things with the I have an Aster as well. I didn't bring that one out here, but they really have done with the Harsey folder a lot of stuff with the images they put on the frame. Just so well built, fits in the hand so well. Good solid knife, great work knife, that sort of thing. Hinderer is an awesome company. Definitely like them a lot. I would love to get some more of their stuff. I was looking at them at Blade Show and didn't quite decide to get one. But they got a lot of models that I'm really looking at. So in the future, we'll get some more of those. Another one is the Project X, and these are solid and well built. And that's another thing about USA manufacturing. You tend to, at least from like the pioneer people, the ones that are starting out, they're and just thinking about when I was younger and buying things, and even recently buying like a new refrigerator because the old one had given out, and people were talking about these old refrigerators that just keep working and working and working. And there was a time when things were really made to last. And knives are kind of like that because they are something that you can pass down generation to generation. And when you get something, at this level, it's something that's going to last. It's going to be around. So yeah, these sometimes they call them overbuilt knives, are just such that you can put them through just about anything, and they're gonna come through on the other side, and they're gonna be good for use for generation to generation, which is pretty cool, I think. I mean, there's something to be proud of with that. The Three Rivers Manufacturing, boy, I've been really impressed with them lately. I see them working with a lot of the YouTube channels, and they just have kind of created a niche for their designs, being very thin and slicey, and they can tend to be fairly expensive, but man, they're beautiful and just quality stuff. I really like them. Another company that I'm definitely looking to get some more of, that's the Atom there. And the milling on this one, we're talking about U.S. machining. Really awesome. Now, I couldn't really say, this is maybe a CNC type thing. Not an expert on that sort of stuff, but even that, I mean, there is something to that manufacturing-wise. It's not like you just turn on a machine and it does whatever you want. You have to program that machine. You have to put some time into it. Maybe not handcrafted. And there certainly are a lot of awesome American handcrafted knives, but then the price goes to another level. And I'm not quite at that level as much as I would like to be. This is the Shadow, another one, which is very slicey, thin. Just something that you can definitely expect from Three Rivers Manufacturing. I mean, all these brands seem to have their, you know, there's something about them that you identify with that company. You know, if it's like just solid built, a user type thing, just quality manufacturing, tight tolerancing, you know, something with instead of bearings, it has washers, but still extremely smooth. Opening, closing just feels different in your hand. Innovation in locks, you know, the thin slicey, the overbuilt, all these things. I mean, it's something that I appreciate personally. You know, is the way these knives are made. That's why when I get up to a higher cost knife, and I've said this before, a higher cost knife, I'm at that point where, okay, now I'm deciding between a quality USA made versus a quality Chinese or other country made knife, and there's a certain draw to me personally to the American made knives. So, I mean, I'm not the guy that can say that I only buy USA made, but you know, when it comes down to it, and there's a comparison that's pretty close, I'm gonna lean towards the USA made knives. So I want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. I think it's a great holiday, and there's something behind it other than just getting the day off work, which I appreciate. I love getting the day off work, but you know, we're just remembering all the shoulders that we've stood on over the years. You know, everything that we have here. You know, freedoms, things like that. I don't take it for granted. I definitely appreciate everything good. I mean, I know these days there's a lot of people that are talking about bad things, and yeah, that's easy to do as well. But there are so many good things, I feel. And I think that if you just kind of honestly take a look at it, in my opinion, there's a lot of great things about this country. So anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Enough talking. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys. And I hope you have a great 4th of July. See you on the next one.